I hate trains. They're slow, unreliable, and, yeah, not the nicest. But today I'm travelling down to London on a first-class upgrade that should have cost me £155.50. Yeah, I didn't pay that. I paid just £47. So join me on board to check it out. Find out how I got the ticket so cheap, and if first-class travel is enough to stop me hating trains once and for all. Okay, so I've just arrived outside Manchester Piccadilly station and we've got a little bit of time before the train departs, so let's go check out the first class lounge. Okay, so I'm just out of the first class lounge. I'm just about to head to the platform and board the train. It was a bit disappointing, to be honest with you, considering that this is, you know, a big train station and a big hub connecting Manchester and London. The lounge itself was really small and almost kind of too small. I kind of felt conscious of everybody else in the lounge. And the food and drink options as well, there weren't that many options. It was just a few snacks and a coffee machine and a fridge with, you know, water and a couple of different canned drinks in. But that was kind of it. Yeah, a bit disappointing, to be honest with you, but hey, you know, you try these things out. If I did first class again, I'd probably just get straight on board the train and not worry about trying to make some time to get in the lounge. And talking of getting on the train, let's go do exactly that now. I forgot how long these mainline trains are. I've just turned a corner and the train's still going. I'm practically in London already. I've walked half the way. Okay, we're about half an hour into the train journey now, and so far so good. I've got a really nice, comfortable seat, which is kind of completely private because there's nobody on the other side of the aisle. I was really lucky with that actually, because when I got the first class upgrade, I couldn't select a seat myself, and the one that I'd been given was going to be on a table with I think 3 other people. It wouldn't have been as private, but when I got on board, literally this is like the first seat on the carriage. It's the most private and it was available, so I've just sat myself down here instead, and it's really nice. You know, I've got a table to myself, and yeah, they've been around with a drink service already, so I've got a water and I've got a nice peppermint tea which kind of came on this cute little tray and with a little metal teapot. Before you say anything about my drinks, I'm teetotal, okay? I'm not going to be on one of these missions where it's like, can I make my money back on beer? I'm teetotal, so water and tea it is, okay? And to go with the tea, we've got some sea salt vegetable crisps, so we'll try those out. I'm not usually one for eating crisps, but I had that gingerbread in the lounge, and if I'm going to make my money back in any way, shape or form, I better get eating some snacks. Right, tea drunk, and after all that tea, I need the loo, so let's check out the toilet. I don't know what I was expecting. I thought there might be nicer toilets in first class, but it's just a bog standard toilet. In fact, this is a really small toilet. I've been on much bigger train toilets in standard class. It's not particularly clean, it's quite smelly, but at least there's a lock on the door. I went to the toilet and there was no lock. Is that normal in Italy? Again, I went to the toilet in the restaurant and there was no lock on the door. Someone nearly walked in on me whilst I was weeing. Now this is actually at the end of the standard class carriages. And when I asked the attendant where the toilet was, he did say that the one in the first class carriage was out of order because of an accident. So maybe there is a fancy first class toilet, but this ain't it. This is snug, it's smelly, and I need to get out. Now, whilst Train Martin heads back to his seat, it feels like a great time for VoiceOver Martin to remind you that if you are enjoying the video and you haven't already, please do give it a like, share it, and hit that subscribe button. It really will help me out quite a lot. Now, back to the video. Got back from the toilet and my cheese and crackers have been served, so I'll try those now. There were a few more substantial options on the menu. There was, I think, a BLT sandwich, pasta and a cheese sauce, and some kind of pie. This was actually part of the pie option, but you could have the cheese and crackers just on their own if you wanted. But I'm just not that hungry. It's not quite time for tea, or dinner if you're southern, but tea. It's only early yet, so again, maybe not making the most of the menu if you're kind of totting up the pound signs. One thing that I did find with the menu, and maybe this is the fussy eater in me coming out, but the options were a little bit odd. Apart from the BLT sandwich, which I guess is a pretty standard option, the others were a little bit particular. There was nothing like just a portion of chips. If there was a portion of chips, I would have had that. And I wouldn't have thought that'd be too difficult to cook on a train. They can cook them on planes, so why can't they cook them on trains? Just some McCain chips. Just get a box of McCain chips, oven chips, bang it in the microwave. Good as gold. But no chips on offer, so I'll make do with my cheese and crackers instead. Okay, so to the main point of the video. This train ticket was originally a standard class one, but I hate trains, and I thought maybe, just maybe, a first class upgrade might be enough to make me change my mind and actually enjoy the journey down to London. But when I went to the ticket office at Manchester Piccadilly station yesterday, the woman was going to charge me £155.50 for an upgrade from standard to first class. £155.50. There's no way I was going to pay that. So how did I get it for £47 then? Through an app called Seatfrog. And this isn't some secret app either. This is actually advertised on Avanti West Coast's own website. Now, Seatfrog is an auction app. They auction off available upgrades on all of the train services, not just for Avanti West Coast, but nationally across the UK. The way it works is that an auction will open up 24 hours before the scheduled departure time of a train service, and it will close just 30 minutes before. You put your maximum bid price that you're willing to pay for the train ticket, and the app does the rest. It starts with a minimum bidding price, and if there's more than one person bidding on the seat, it will go up from that minimum, pound by pound by pound, until there's only one bidder left. In my auction, there were 3 people bidding on this seat. The bidding started at £47, went up to £48, and then was left with only me on £49. On top of that £49, there is a £3 platform fee, bringing the overall cost of this seat to £52. But wait, here's the best bit. When I signed up to Seatfrog, I got a £5 off voucher, which meant that £52 that I should have paid became £47. In other words, the minimum bid price. And that is how you get a £155.50 first class upgrade for just £47. That's less than a third of the price. I'll drink to that, even if it is just a glass of still water. Cheers. Now, I'm sure it goes without saying, but this video isn't sponsored by Seatfrog, although if Seatfrog are interested in sponsoring content creators with just a handful of subscribers, then please do get in touch. Okay, so I'm off the train and I've just arrived here at Euston Station in London, and I guess it's time for the verdict. Question number 1. Was that first class upgrade enough to stop me hating train journeys? Maybe. I had snacks, I had drinks, and yeah, of course, compared to a standard service, it was a lot nicer. But it wasn't great first class. I've got to be honest, I was expecting a lot better. It all started in Manchester. That first class lounge was pretty poor. It was small and there just wasn't a lot on offer in terms of food and drinks. And that theme kind of continued through to the train journey itself. Yes, it was a nice seat, but you can get that in standard premium. It's the exact same cabin, just minus the food and drink. And an upgrade to standard premium costs about £30. So when you consider that the first class upgrade should have been £155.50, £125.50 of that is just the food and drinks and the service. And that was kind of lacking. And I don't mean because I only drank water and tea and I only had the crackers and cheese. That's on me, and I know I'm not really getting my money's worth. The crew were friendly enough, but they were slow to come and clear the empty bottles and all of the litter. So for a lot of that train journey, my table was crammed with empties and leftovers, and I was expecting them to come round fairly frequently, but the crew were just not around for half of that train journey. And it got to the point that by the end, I ended up going and finding someone to ask them for another drink. So is a first class upgrade worth £155.50? I think it clearly isn't. Even if you're going to drink all the beer that you possibly can and have a proper meal. Is it worth the £47 that I paid? Well, maybe. I guess it kind of depends what you want. Am I going to be in a rush to do it again? No. Is there anything that could maybe change my mind and make the whole experience a bit better? Chips? Okay, now I've got a hotel to check into here in London, so I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please like and share the video if you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button. You have no idea how much these things help a new channel like mine to be able to grow and make more content. Now, I will see you on the next video. Bye.